thinking about the possible consequence of anxiety, right? One of the things we mentioned just now was actually self-harm, all right? And it seems to be something which affects quite a number of our young today. Would you like to explain to us what this phenomenon is all about, and what are the causes of self-harm? How perhaps prevalent is this in our society? And what should we as parents look out for to prevent this and to really intervene as early as we can?
Yeah, incidences of self-harm don't just start, in terms in that way. There will always be little signs, like we talked about, little signs of anxiety, either withdrawals or changes in behavioral patterns. And also when individuals do start self-harm, they're very cautious and very careful about hiding it. So typically, even if there is self-harm, very often parents and family members or teachers themselves don't realize it, because it's either done, for some individuals, like girls in particular, they do it between their thighs or under, on their wrist where their watch will cover it, or, somewhere where it can't be seen. It's not common for them to do it in areas where it's easily visible. So it will be hard for parents to notice. And usually it comes with just an overwhelm. They don't plan to self-harm. It just happens as, they just mentally are unable to cope anymore. And then it turns into a physical means. So quite often then, if parents do notice as well, so one of the first lines is we always remind them, just keep them visible, be vigilant. So especially because we don't want it to escalate. Right. And if your child, regardless of what age your child is, brings it up to you, stay calm. Because we don't, like I said, it takes a lot for them to open up to someone. So I would encourage parents to stay calm, have a chat with them about it, seek some help. But one of the things that would be useful is to remove, at least initially, just to remove things that might be a bit dangerous, or, items that might be a bit, might put them at risk. And, like I said earlier as well, increase visibility. So spend more time with them. If studying or revising for exams, that's what happens to a few of our kids, when they're doing their homework, and then it gets overwhelming. So, maybe moving study areas to the living room or to the dining area where they can be surrounded with other people. So then it just breaks the whole process and the habit of doing it. So those would be kind of the key things. In terms of prevalence, unfortunately, I don't have those numbers. But yes, definitely, I think the numbers you talked about earlier in terms of the increase, that is very alarming. And I think especially in the Singapore context, it's not just the pandemic, because there's been an upward trend already. So we just need to be vigilant, be mindful, and, mental health is just like, primary health. It starts way before. We don't want to jump in when it's already happened. So just taking that time to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, that's right. Then actually some of the younger patients I've seen who actually have expressed some possible intention of self-harm, or actually have practiced self-harm, a number of them actually shared with me that it was the undue expectations that their parents placed on them, on their schoolwork or on their achievements in other areas, sports and ECAs, things like that. Do you think that could be an important part of to play in development self-harm and anxiety?
I think sometimes, yes. I wouldn't say all, but yes, sometimes. I mean, we've had, kids come in and they're very tired, and I'm like, oh, why are you so tired? What's your schedule like? Oh, I've got school in the morning, and then I come home, I rest for half an hour, and then I have to go off for tuition, and then I'll come back, and then I have to do my homework, and then I rest for another half an hour, and then it's dinner, and then I have tuition to 10 p.m. And I'm like, you have tuition to 10 p.m. So I think sometimes that is a cause, but of course, like I said, sometimes the parents can be, I've also met parents who are the most chilled parents, who don't place any demands on the kids, but the kids place the demands on themselves, right? Or it's the school environment. So it's multiple factors. But yes, I think it does exacerbate the situation when they just do not have any downtime. Yeah.